Everything started when this clip went viral. People couldn't stop talking about this 7'3" French kid, but many skeptics still question his true potential, especially after his not-so-flashy EuroLeague debut last year. After joining the Metropolitans 92 this offseason, Victor Wembanyama stepped on the court for 2 exhibition games versus the G League Ignite team and shook the NBA world.
In 2024, as Victor Wembanyama drills a deep three, that's what he can do.
But what isn't talked about enough is his most likely last ever season in Europe. My name is Gitas from basketnews.com, and these are the reasons why Victor Wembanyama decided to leave the EuroLeague. Imagine Victor Wembanyama coming back to the EuroLeague after what he did in his Vegas trip.
Hey now!
And with all the hype train he generated.
The singular greatest prospect.
I mean, he's generational.
Yeah, he's like the 2K creative player.
He's more like an alien.
Did LeBron say that? Oh, okay.
We would probably see packed arenas across Europe just to witness this alien. The reality is different, and it's a shame that we won't be seeing him competing against the top European teams as we did last season. Wembanyama was playing for Tony Parker's own EuroLeague club ASVEL Villeurbanne the previous year. It seemed that he was in the perfect place to fulfill his potential and get ready for the NBA.
And upstairs, oh my word, what a slam dunk from Wembanyama!
I guess the San Antonio Spurs would also have been delighted to take the torch from their Hall of Famer and start a new era with the generational talent.
Nobody here should go to Vegas with the thought of betting on us to win the championship.
So why did the biggest French prospect ever decide to leave the GOAT of French basketball and his project?
He's got a great motor, he wants to win, and his mentor is great too.
With the help of my colleague Donatas Urbanas and his sources, we now know the actual reasons behind this decision. Some sources suggest Wembanyama and his camp were unhappy with his experience in ASVEL, and his dissatisfaction grew throughout the season. Apparently, it was related to Tony's younger brother, TJ Parker, specifically his strict coaching style and Victor's usage on the court. Last year, 17-year-old Wembanyama made his EuroLeague debut in the season opener, but saw only 3 minutes of playing time, taking and missing a single field goal and finishing scoreless with 2 turnovers and 1 block.
Goodbye. Steps through. Wow, Wembanyama.
Following his debut, Victor did not play a single minute for 4 games in a row, and then returned to EuroLeague action, scoring 3 points in 10 minutes for the next 2 games he played. And then he fractured his finger, which forced him to miss nearly a month. When Victor returned, he got more significant playing time with 16.3 minutes, averaging 6.3 points in 3 games, and scoring in double digits for the first time in his EuroLeague career.
Wembanyama blocks the shot. What a long reach, and he's off to the races to the fast break. That's a slammer, bama, jammer. Victor Wembanyama.
His increasingly successful run was cut short due to a shoulder injury, forcing him to sit out the next 2 months. Wembanyama then came back and finished the EuroLeague season with a couple of promising EuroLeague performances, putting up 14 points and 5 blocks against Žalgiris,
Wembanyama, oh my word!
and a career-high 18 points against Milan.
One opportunity as Wembanyama rewarded for running the floor, 5 points in a row.
Unfortunately, the pattern continued and he suffered yet another injury, not finishing his season in the French League. You might be thinking now, how come ASVEL did not play Wembanyama more? Due to the EuroLeague season being 2.5 times shorter than the NBA and only 8 out of 18 teams making the playoffs, the EuroLeague teams treat every game as a do-or-die battle.
Obviously, the game is over. Howard beats the end of quarter. Oh, what drama! Oh my goodness!
Then add the fact that there is no draft and the teams get relatively small compensation for NBA buyouts, which makes tanking in Europe not existent. That's why teams are doing everything they can to snatch every win in the race for the playoff spot.
Back there, every game matters.
For those reasons, it is incredibly rare for young players to get much playing time in the EuroLeague, especially if they're only 17 years old. So while 17 minutes a game might seem too little for a generational talent, in the context of the EuroLeague he was getting more playing time than any other player his age. And of course, another factor reducing his playing time was Wembanyama's injuries and recovery from them. While this many injuries in such a short time might be a red flag, it seems that the NBA scouts aren't too concerned. According to sources, they were convinced that if Wembanyama's camp made him sit out the entire 2022-23 season, even before exhibition games in Vegas, he would have still remained the #1 NBA draft pick. But as his agent recalled, that was never a scenario for Wembanyama. He wanted to play and compete, which is why he decided to join the Metropolitans 92.
Ouh, il fait pas sauter.
Although joining a weaker team seemed odd at first, it basically ticks all the boxes for what's best for his future. First, Metropolitans 92 play only in the French League. This means Wembanyama is scheduled to play only once per week, which wasn't the case in ASVEL. On top of 34 French League games, they would have played at least 34 games in the EuroLeague, making him play at least 2-3 times a week. Instead of spending time on commercial flights, airports, trains, and an intense EuroLeague team schedule with no space for individual work, he will get what's most important for him: quality recovery and enough time to improve his skills, body, and also play War of Warships.
Submarines have arrived in the high seas of World of Warships. German and American Tier 6 and 8 submarines have arrived in early access. Stay sharp, the hunt is on.
Make sure to download War of Warships using the link in the description, and now let's get back to the video. Wembanyama will be getting much more playing time as Metropolitans won't be fighting for survival against the top European teams every week. We can already see the evidence for more playing time, as so far he's averaging 10 minutes more than he did in the French League last year with ASVEL.
On est sur une zone qui oblige à shooter de loin, Waters, et la claquette dunk énorme.
He will also have a much clearer role in a team built entirely around him. He's also got the experienced French national team head coach Vincent Collet there, who stayed for one last season just for him. The last great European prospect, Luka Doncic, did not need any of these special conditions and instead focused on winning on the biggest European stage.
With the lay-in, and Luka Doncic with the full corner on the buzzer. Are you kidding me?
As we saw later, that still wasn't enough for some NBA teams, as Doncic went third in the NBA draft. I guess it's still not a guarantee that Wembanyama would impress, say, Sacramento Kings enough to draft him first. And while Victor's departure left a bitter taste in the mouths of the EuroLeague fans, this decision might contribute to a longer and better NBA career that every basketball fan will enjoy. Let me know in the comments if you agree with Wembanyama's decision, hit that like button, and make sure to subscribe for more.